It was a vibe. It was a vibe.
All right. Hope everyone's doing well. So this session, as most of you guys know, I used to run Scanner Source sessions every Wednesday at 8:30. A few weeks ago, I decided to maybe change it a little bit and maybe have more of a open type session. So the idea behind that is anything that I come across in the week that I think might be good to share, we can do it in this session. Equally, if anybody's got anything that they come across during the week that they think could be beneficial for the rest of the team, then they are welcome to share as well. So last week we had Eugene that was showing us how to do your trade and stop on the MT4 desktop. The week before I did the swipe coin scanner and also the new ECZ11 2.0. And that's just how we're going to try and continue with things. So if anybody's got anything they would like to share, for next week or in a couple of weeks, then just let me know. We can arrange that. So for today, I've had a few people kind of reach out to me separately in regards to the funded account, and they just had some kind of questions on how it all works. So I thought maybe that would be a fitting thing to talk about for today's session. And there's also been a new strategy released called Colors, and we're going to see if maybe we can get on and have a look at that also as well. But yeah, before I kick off, just going to check how everyone's doing from a 1 to 10. If you can just let me know in the chat box, how's your day been today? 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Be good to see how everyone's doing today. We've got an 8 from Abigail. 7.5, 8 from Limford, 7 from Tabitha, 9 from the chair lady herself, 7. Okay, so we've got everybody above average. We've got some extremely high. But yeah, that's good to see. That's good to see. All right, so I'll kind of just start talking about funding account, my experience, and if anybody's got any questions as I'm talking, please feel free to either unmute your mics or type in the chat box. This is meant to be very interactive. It's not how we would normally do trading where we've got one person speaking and you guys listening for the whole time. We can ask questions throughout, we can have a conversation, just try to do something a little bit different. So without further ado, when I finish my dinner, I will be a 10. I know them ones, definitely. 8 from Mr. Bless as well. Cool. So my personal experience of funded account, I first came across it back in November when I did my first mini event with Des. At the end of my event in November, Des mentioned funded accounts, and I thought, what's that? That sounds interesting. So I looked into it a bit further just to really understand, what it is, what it's all about, and in a nutshell, you basically have, kind of think of like, fund managers, think of, wealthy, individuals, investors that, there is a investment type, kind of pot almost, and organizations have that investment capital, which they are willing to allow individual retail traders like you and I to trade that capital on that investment companies or individuals' behalf. So there is, obviously with trading, there is a risk. And for that reason, to get granted or given a funded account, they give you a series of test evaluations to basically demonstrate that you can manage your trades appropriately, because before you're granted that actual physical cash, they want to make sure that that investment is somewhat protected, and there are some clauses within that. So the one that I did, I'll share my screen just for visual purposes. Let me just flick across here. So the one I did is called FTMO. There's different ones out there. Why I was particularly attracted to the FTMO one, one was for the profit split. So they work on a basis of a 70-30% profit split. So 70%, whatever profits you make on the capital you're given, you keep 70%, and they keep 30%, which I think is fair. They've got a broad range of instruments that you can trade. So you can trade Forex pairs, you can trade gold, silver, oil, you can trade the different indices, you can trade Bitcoin, you can trade Ethereum. So it had a very broad range of things that you could trade, which for me linked back to the platform, because on the platform, obviously, we've got so much different resources, so much different educators that trade so much different things. So for me, it made sense to tie in the academy with a funded platform that allowed me to trade those different elements. So let me just go over to here, and hopefully I should have that breakdown. Cool, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Is there a question? You've broken their branding image, Sean, all over like. Okay, so here it is. You've got, let's just use GBP as, because most of us will be in the UK, and you can choose how much you want as a funded account. So you could go for 10K, 20K, 35K, 70K, 140K. Okay, let's just do 70K as an example. So step one basically is a 30-day challenge, and within 30 days you need to grow that 70K to 77K. So that's I think it's about a 10% increase over 30 active days. That's your target to meet. Now, within that target, there are some clauses that you need to ensure that you also meet. So one of those clauses is not to have a daily loss limit. So you can't lose more than 3.5K in one day. If you do, then you're then you failed the challenge, and you'd have to start again. Each of these challenges, there is a fee attached to them. So you want to try and limit any possible losses. So this one, for example, is 540 euros. And then, if you went for the 140K one, then that would be 1,000 euros. But yeah, let's stick to the 70K one for now. So your kind of key metrics are 7,000 profit target within 30 days. And within those 30 days, you want to ensure that you don't lose 3.5K in a day, or you fail the test. You can't also lose 7K or more, or you failed the test. That's over the period of 30 days. So for example, you was on day 20 and you had dropped from 70K down to 62K, then you would have failed the challenge. If, for example, you was on day 25 and you was on 74K, but then you had a loss of 3.5K, then you would have failed the challenge. So the key two numbers to remember is your maximum daily loss limit and also your overall maximum loss limit. If, for example, you get to day 30 and you've made £76,000, so 6K profit, but you've not validated, you've not experienced these losses, then they do give you what's called a free retest, so you can take the test again. Assuming you pass step one, then you go over to step two. And step two is just a verification stage, so you actually get 60 days for step two. You, again, can't have a loss limit of more than 3.5K in one day, and you've got a maximum loss limit of 7K, and your overall profit target is 3.5K. So whilst in step one, it was 7K in 30 days, step two is 3.5K in 60 days. And then each one, you've got to have 10 active days of trading. So, you could, for example, find yourself in a position where after day 4 or 5, you've met the target, but you still need to have 10 active days trading. So you just want to maybe do, very, very smaller lot sizes for the remaining days of that challenge to ensure that you meet that part of the criteria, and then you're granted the account. And then once you're granted the account, you've then got a 70K account, and that's yours indefinitely. So you can trade on that for as long as you please. They still do have 2 criteria that you got to stick to. So you can't have a maximum loss of 7,000. So you couldn't go to 63K or under. They would close your account. and you couldn't have a maximum daily loss limit of 3.5K. So the sensible thing really is, if, for example, you're in a losing trade and you've lost, say, £1,500 for the day, just stop trading for the day and come back tomorrow or another day, because at this point there is no rush. You know, you're not chasing a target. There's no need to experience that loss. Just manage your stop loss accordingly, manage your risk management accordingly, and you shouldn't really experience a maximum daily loss. A maximum overall loss, you know, that could happen. You'd have to be very unfortunate to have, you know, several losses, but obviously nothing is impossible. But that is there. So, you know, from their point of view, they're saying, well, you know, if you lose 7K you know, of our investment, then we're going to kind of close your account, because, you know, we're not going to accept any more risk, you know, from you as a trader on our platform. So that's the one that I did. Obviously, with MA Finance, you may be aware they've also got their own one as well. They've got the MA Finance exclusive funded accounts. My only reason for going for the FTMO one was because it had more options to trade with. So the MA Finance one was purely Forex pairs and also gold. Cryptocurrencies and indices were not part of the instruments that you could trade currently on MA Finance. I know from speaking to Des and Brian, they are looking to add that at some point, but they haven't as of yet got a date confirmed. So that was my reason for going for the FTMO one, but I'm sure there's other ones out there, but that was the one that I decided to go for in the end. But yeah, let me pause there and see if anybody's got any questions. I'm more than happy to answer. From what I'm no expert, so to speak, but you know, just because I've been through the process, I can maybe answer any questions anyone's got.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So, how do you feel trading on a 70? How are you feeling?
How do I feel? It's still a bit surreal, really. It still kind of feels like I'm still doing a challenge. And then you just have to remember that you kind of passed it. And the key difference I would say is, and I said to you before, it's like you don't have to, with, when you're trading like a 0.20 or 0.30, you want in your trade to get to a TP1 to, get, 30 or 40 pips. Whilst in this situation, you can do a 5 lots or a 10 lots. It can move 5-6 pips and you're happy with that money, so it's I'm not gonna say it's easier, because the monies are obviously, you're dealing with way bigger amounts. But in essence, it is easier because you don't have to wait for your TP. What I do now is I just move my stop to break even, and I'm of a mindset that I'll either hit break even or I'll hit my TP, which may be 30 pips away, or if I'm 15 pips up, then I'll do my stop at 15 pips in profit. So I'm kind of like, safety first, I think, is the main thing when you're dealing with those kinds of
well, that was the practice. That was the practice anyway. But it seems like now, now it's easier to move your entry to move your stop loss to entry now, because of you're not having to, be that, I don't want to say desperate, but be that much. People they don't want to lose a trade, or they don't want to break even because they're trading with like 0.01 or 0.02, and it doesn't really, you really want to come out with some sort of profit. Do you know what I mean? But obviously on the bigger accounts, like you said, moving it to break even now is just like light work. But I would still, as much as possible, encourage people to just follow that practice. That's just safe practice, just in general. And for those who don't have a funded account, or they're just going to grow their accounts, not like outside of having a funded account, just practice that and just use the position size calculator, like Tabitha always says on her risk management sessions. Just manage your trades like it is a funded account. Like, just do that, because if you do go for the funded accounts, then at least you've already got that mindset of of how you're going to manage your trades. So it's really important, man. But yeah, we're happy for you, man. So gassed. And we can't wait for that withdrawal, because we're all going to Spain on Sean. In it, Linford. Linford, are you backing me up, bro?
No. I kind of think we all need to go visit Tabitha. That's what I think.
Oh, jeez. I was waiting for, you know what? Let me snap that back. We're going Kenya for real, yo.
Yes.
On you,
yes,
Sean.
Yes, karibu sana.
Don't worry.
Pressure's on now, Sean.
Linford ain't backing me up though. I don't know. Linford, bruv, you let me down, man. What's going on?
I'm backing you up, man. I'm backing you up.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Daddy Pips, it's on you, bro.
Daddy Pips, oh gosh. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I've got this. Anyone else? Anything anyone else would like to know, or for me to explain a bit more on?
I got a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Right. When you started to get into growing this funded account, did you concentrate more on the amount, or did you concentrate more on the actual pips that would get you the percentage you needed each day?
So good question. So for me, it wasn't really about pips. For me, it was just about seeing 7K profit. And I spoke to Tabitha yesterday about this, and for me, I had a massive mental challenge with when you start this, and this is different for everybody. So my experience might be different for you guys, but for me, I found that I was constantly trying to chase the 7K profit target so quickly within the first week and a half, that it had a negative effect, because I was looking at the trades and I was making rash decisions to try and get to the 7K, when if I actually took a step back and thought, hold on a minute, 7K over 30 days is nothing, just small increments. But I was constantly trying to get to that 7K quite quickly. That in my first, so I said to Tabitha yesterday, and I said to Safi as well, this is my third attempt in 2.5 months. And each time I failed it, you got to pay £465. But I was so insistent that, one, I was going to pass it, and two, I knew that I was the problem. It wasn't that the platform was the problem. It wasn't that I was the problem. It was me and my rash emotions, because I was so hungry to get this funded account, that I was making very, very silly decisions. And what happened was, on my third attempt, in my first, I think 10 days, I had 3 minus 3K days. So on my, I think, like 13th or 14th day, I was on 68,000 and my target is 77. So I had gone back 2,000, and I'd obviously not lost, but I only had 2 weeks to play with. So you start with 70K and you've got 4 weeks. I had 2 weeks to go and I was at 68K. And I think it was at that point I was like, I just need to get back to break even now and just get a free retest, because I really couldn't afford to pay again. So I thought, let me just get back to 70 or above, break even, play it safe, literally just keep my losses really, really tight. Because when I had my 3 minus 3K days, it was because I let the trades go, or I was adjusting my stop loss even further. When you're just doing that hopeful trading, that faithful trading, when you think, oh, it's going to come back, and you start to appreciate that nothing is guaranteed in the market, and with all the best analysis in the world, you got to take the losses. So sometimes you just got to cut the losses early and move on. And I think once I started to make that shift in my mind, it helped so much, because in my last 2 weeks, I did 9K in my last 2 weeks, or like last 10 days. And then when I did my stage 2, I did 4K in 3 days. And I just had that shift. Now that those numbers, I think I had to go for it. So it wasn't, I'm not going to be trading at that level going forward. I was doing like 6 trades a day, but I had to go for it, because once I got to 72K and I had 2 weeks to go, I thought, well, worst thing is I go back to break even. but I might as well go for it because I know it can be done. I'm just going to have to be very, very aggressive. But that wouldn't naturally have been how I would have traded. But because I got myself in that situation, I had to get myself. Well, I thought, let me just go for it. You know, I thought the worst thing that can happen is I lose a couple and I go back to 70K. But if I really go for it and it lands well, I could pass this. And I just went for it. And yeah, everything just lined up. Yeah, go for it.
Did you ever twin trade? So were you doing the funded account stuff? Did you ever do your own stuff?
Yeah. So I think someone asked me what strategies did I use. I don't I don't know if it's advisable, but I use a combination of different strategies. So scanner source. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of scanner source. That's always been my day one. In terms of educators, not many people tune into Kevin Serrano, but for me personally, Kevin Serrano is one of the best in the business. Fantastic trader. Anastasia, you start to pick up on who, I've watched so much go live that you start to pick up on who is strong in what areas. So when it comes to NAS in particular, I would take Anastasia all day long. If Anastasia was to call, I don't know, UK 100, maybe I wouldn't take it. That doesn't mean that it would be wrong, but her win rate in NAS is different class. Luke Longmire again, another one. So I've just got my educators that I will take trades from, mixed with what I can do on the scanner source. So yeah, combination of everything. Just using the platform, using what I've learned to kind of get me over the line. How about anyone else? Anyone else would like to know? Happy to share. All quiet, and it's all blank screens. One less blank screen. 2, hey! 3, hey!
I've got another question.
Yeah, go for it.
What went through your head when your first attempt wasn't the outcome you wanted? There you
go. What went through my head? That I go again. I stand up straight away. Like there's like for me it was like, because so what I did is in December I opened a demo account of I think 70 or 100K, and I was just playing around, and I think I did like 20K in 10 days on demo. Now obviously there's no emotion attached to it, so you can read into that what you will, but I think the key thing from that is I saw what you can make with a big account, and I knew that I could do it if I could just get myself right. The key thing was getting myself right. And don't get me wrong, like I'm nowhere near a finished article. Like I'm still gonna have days where I'm gonna, be erratic. But I'm hoping, well, I know I've definitely developed a lot over the last, couple of months, but it's an ongoing process. You're always developing. But yeah, in terms of that question, I think the key thing for me was I knew I could do it. I knew what the result would be, and it was just about going again. It was about, I would take it 100 times. I really, really would, because I know what a big account can do just by playing with the demo and seeing what numbers, what you can turn numbers into. And I think another key thing I would say is, some people I've spoken to are like, I don't know if I could do it, or I'm scared. The key thing I would say is what you can do with, a 0.20, a 0.30 is the same thing that you can do with a 5 lot or a 10 lot. The chart doesn't change, the strategy doesn't change. It is exactly the same thing. And the only difference is literally the numbers on your MT4 that's going to be having more zeros on there, but everything else remains exactly the same. So don't be put off by thinking, oh, it's a big account, I can't manage it, or you can't do it. Like if you're doing quite well at the moment, and you're you know, you're winning more than you're losing, then I would 100% encourage everybody to go for it. As soon as I heard about it in November, I was like, yeah, I'm all in. I literally was in all in.
Also, let me add to that as well, right? Because if you remember when you first sort of start trading, most people start trading on the 100,000 demo account. Not a lot of people actually know that you can go into the broker and you can reduce it to like 3,000 or a few hundred to make it realistic to your, you know, your situation. Not a lot of people actually know that. So plenty of people start trading on the demo with 100K. Everyone's happy skipping around. They're seeing 600 pounds, they're seeing a few thousand, they've forgotten about the trade, they've come back, they've seen it, it's in big profit. Then they go live and they're like, you know, I can't replicate this on my 50 pound or my 100 pounds account, right? And the reason why it can't replicate is because of the leverage on the 100,000 pounds account. It's not that, you know, people think the brokers are doing something. It's not that, but it's that you have a different mentality now. You have a different psychology because of it is your real money and it's a smaller amount. So my advice would be like, try to take, you know, just take that mindset in, you know, on the fact that it's bigger accounts are easier to grow. Let's just put it that way. That's point back period. Like bigger accounts are way easier to grow than 50 pounds or 100 pounds or even 200 pounds, you know? So my thing is, you know, try. At the end of the day, we lose money all the time on Forex. It is what it is. You know, we make it back, we lose it, we make more. It is what it is. But if you can afford to try, prepare yourself, you know, and give it a go. Like that is gonna be your shot at something that you may not be able to do as soon as doing the funded account, you know. And a lot of people give up on trading early, you know, way before their time, just because they're not able to get their account to a certain amount, you know. So give yourself a real good chance at this and just practice and go for it, man. Definitely. Tabitha, see you coming up there next funded account, bussing.
Yeah, Sean and I talked yesterday, as you mentioned, and he's planted a few seeds in me. So and
done.
you too. Hey, Charlie, Safi.
Yeah, mine is done. I'm not even worried about me, because look, yeah, mine is done. Mine is done, done, right? But my focus is on my team. Like, if you guys have funded accounts and if you guys are killing it, that's more important to me, because of I can manage my own, like I'm in charge of my own growth, if that makes sense. I have to put my time and my dedication. That's me. I know what I want. I'm going to always work on me. But when I see you guys killing it and you guys smashing it, that's way more important to me, you know, way more important to me, because I'm going to do this, but I don't want to be the only one, you know. So if you guys even do it before me, that's even better. And I'll come up after, like, you know, I want to see you guys winning, man. I'm there with you guys 100%. But like, we should even set up a funded account group. Let's all get our funded accounts and just trade together and just smash it out in 2 weeks.
Can you imagine that? Oh my gosh. It's 10%, guys. 10%.
Come on, it's not really that. It's really not that bad.
The hardest thing is the mental stuff. But as I said,
Yeah.
it got to me. You guys might be fine, but it definitely got to me in my head.
Yeah, it would though. It would naturally. I think it would naturally, but it's like any test though, driving test, you know, whatever kind of test. At the end of the day, you know that the pressure is on you to pass. You really want to pass it. So wait there, what's that? It's blur screen. What's going on there?
I was basically dividing 7K by 30 days, and it's only £233 a day. And I knew this beforehand, but I was seeing the mental stuff.
Yeah, you ain't trying to wait 30 days. That's why
That was it.
You're trying to smack this out in 24 hours, bro. Yeah, you're trying to wait 30 days.
That's what it was.
How many lots was that, Sean? Like your first trade that you took, how many lots were you trading at?
I was mainly doing about 7 lots, mainly.
Light work.
Hey.
Million about
7 lots. Wait, let me set up my demo account at 100K right now.
Do you know what? Even Tabitha, yeah, let me tell you something, right? Even if you had like even if you do a 5,000 demo account, right? Right. Let me show you something. Even if you do a 5,000 demo account and you go put in a position size calculator, your stop loss for 30, 40 pips, it will probably give you a 7 lot. For 5%, it will probably give you a 7 lot. Yeah. So the thing is, it all comes down to your risk, and if you use a position size calculator how it's supposed to be used, it will give you a big lot size and a small risk, but you have to have the account in order to manage it, so it's not 7 lots sound big, and it is big. I was recently about 2 weeks ago, I was in a 7 lot trade, 7.3, and it was on NAS 100 actually, right?
Whoa.
He's got undercover fund money, guys.
Remember, I told you guys I took some time out to focus on my peers, right? Told you, right? It was on NAS 100. But I'm saying it moved, but remember, 7 lots, okay, but how many pips do you catch when you're on the 7 lot? Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to think about that as well, right? But it was a good profit, don't get me wrong, it was a good profit, but if that was a 100K account, that would have been a couple 100,000, so what I'm basically saying is, don't get too carried away with the 7 lots, because of it's the risk at the end of the day, and if you're managing your risk properly, it would even give you a 10 lot, you know what I'm saying, and your risk will still be the same. So it really comes down to that. But yeah, man, it's exciting stuff.
Now, yeah, it really is. I mean, and you know what I really admire about Sean is that he showed us all that it's really possible. And he kept saying it's his mind, and we're thinking now, think and grow rich. It's such a coincidence that what he said and what we're reading, it links. Once you've got your mindset right, trading is not, we're not here to run a sprint. It's a marathon. Running a marathon, people can say, yeah, I can do a dash, I can do 100 meters, but a marathon, that's a lot of, that's what, 42 miles, right? You start early and you're just running and running and running and running and running, so it really is all about the mind. So I think it's even just when we talk to people about trading, just like, also telling them that it's also about your mindset. And that's why, Safi, I like whenever you introduce new people, you get them to think about, why are you here? How far are you willing to go? Are you here for 2 months? Are you here for 6 months? Are you here for a year? How far are you? Because it's really all about the mind. That's really powerful.
I totally agree. Everything, everything that we read in terms of mindset, it all comes down to it. I was obsessed. I literally was obsessed with passing this thing. It just took over my whole thought process, because I knew I could do it. I just knew I was the battle to overcome. In my head was the challenge, and then the feeling of doing it. And I think I had to go through the losses to probably appreciate it more, and actually, hopefully learn from it as well. Just to be really calmer now, not to rush, don't feel like I need to trade every day. Just a lot more measured.
Focus on building, chairman run.
I just feel a lot more calmer. Like, I did feel very, I won't say stressed, but I definitely felt like self-pressure, I'd say, probably. But yeah, it's nice to get it out of the way. But yeah, I definitely would encourage everybody to look into it. Definitely. Like, you've got nothing to lose. You really haven't. And then once you pass, you're just trading other people's money. So, it's
leverage.
And you can do that in, like, as long as you want, a year, 2 years, 5 years, as long as you want. It's an indefinite account. Whenever you want to end it, you end it. But yeah. But anyone else for any questions, or should we look at or we'll try and look at colors? I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll try.
Let's have a look if it's up there. I did message in the because I saw somebody posting in a Telegram group that someone in their team actually did the training. So I'm like, I've asked, but I've not got a response. So
Okay.
hopefully it will come up.
Cool. Anyone else? Any funded queries? Everyone okay? Everyone's
Yeah,
okay?
all good, bro. Thank
All
you
good.
so much.
All right, cool. Should I try and look at colors or?
Yeah, see if you can. I don't know if you want to just restart, refresh. I don't know. See if you can. If you can, then that'll be great. If not, then
Let's try. And still showing as coming soon.
oh man. All right. Maybe next week then, bro.
What colours was showing up as coming soon?
Yeah, have you got it?
Yeah, is it like that on yours, Marbury?
No, I saw it today. It had on the right hand side, it had currency pairs like how it does on HFX.
Okay.
1 minute.
Where did you go into it?
From
Oh, the IM Center.
yeah.
Oh, sure, not go live.
I'll not go live. Okay.
Maybe strategies.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
for
how I got in.
Nice one, Aubrey. Slick hair, straighten out, Eman.
Wolverine's all over the new strategies, yeah?
She's the queen of TQG that you know she slapped out 4 trades, 2 hit TP.
Oh, is that how you got on? Yeah.
Wrong.
Is that how
What
she's
you saying,
going
Mo?
on? Let me try that.
No,
Hold on,
he said I just need to double check the rest. I think one of them I had to wait for quite a while, but hey.
Hey.
It's all good,
Nothing wrong
man.
with patience.
Patient pays.
Well, as my mother and my father always used to say, a patient man rideth a donkey.
Lord have mercy.
Always count on you.
In it, sure.
There you go. There it is. That one bottom, colourful something.
Yeah,
Oh,
this one.
okay.
Yeah.
You're looking in the wrong place.
That's it. That's how I went to.
So there should be a video attached to this, apparently.
Well, at the top it says trainings.
All right, that's it there.
Oh wow, this is very colourful, right?
Wow.
Listen, when I saw it, I was like, stop that. I need to play with this.
Okay, should we watch this then,
Okay,
guys? Yeah.
awesome. Let's watch. All right. Thank you, Sean.
Welcome everyone, my name is Tracy and I will be going over the colors tutorials for you today. Let's start with the details of colors. Dr. Spiller has put together an amazing product for you guys to use and he has made it quite simple. I would love to just say you can just get on here and match up the colors because it would be that easy. However, there are a few details that we would like to share with you before you start, okay? So here on the chart we have 2 main colors that you want to focus on. There's a green and there's a red, okay? Your green in this indication is for the buys and the red is for the sales. The yellow candles are basically letting you know that you need to pause and wait, okay? So I want to keep that very, very simple with you. I'm gonna click right here on details so you can see some of the shapes and arrows that are on here are also confirmations, okay? So you can read over them and know that when you get these particular confirmations, they don't necessarily have to be in this order, but you'll get these type of confirmations and you want to have them all together once you take the trade, okay? And then you have levels. So it's basically telling you that there's some important levels coming up or that it's at, and then the trend. So the green will be letting you know that there's a buy trend, and the red will let you know if there's a sell trend with these triangles here. All right, so there's a 4 circle setup. If you look to the right, you will see pairs and you will see circles. All right. And all you need to know in this point in time is your colors and your shapes, right? All right. So there's 4 circles for confirmation. And once they are in alignment, they will be in alignment with the price, trend, volume, and volatility. All right. So left to right, trend direction, trend timing, trend volume, trend volatility, right? All 4 green circles signal a buyer's trade idea. Okay. All red circles will signal a sell trade idea. All right. If the colors are mixed up, you want to wait for an alignment. It is that simple. You do not want to have 3 different colors. You don't want to have 2 colors. That means that there is some consolidation possibly. That means that there's no volume, something's not trending, and the market has to make up its mind and get an alignment. Okay, so we want a great relationship. A great relationship is everybody's on the same page. Okay, guys. So if you look to the left, we have our pair. So let's take a look at Great Britain USD. If you click on the pair, it will pop up. Okay, you have the 1 minute, you have the 5 minute, you have a 15 minute, 30 minute, just like any other time frames. You have different time frames you can get on. So just depending on what type of trader you are is what you're going to look for. So let's go to the 4 hour, which is one of my favorites. And I'm going to look for something that is lined up, but we'll go down the list. Great Britain Chef is not in alignment. So that's not something that I want to go look at. I want to wait until everything's alignment. Okay. Everything's in order from the most recent and current setup. Okay. But let's look at Euro Great Britain here. A couple of days ago, there was a buy. All right. So what are we looking for in order to take this trade? Remember, go to your detail list. You're looking for an green, all green if we're looking for buys, right? So I have a green arrow here. That's one of my indications that I'm turning or I have a buy trend. Okay. This is the triangle. And then this is my little friend. I call it a little fractal, right? So we have those confirmations. Now, when we get these confirmations, we also need to make sure that this beautiful trend line, which is an indicator, is like a trend line, right? So once it turns green, I need everything to line up with it. Okay. So my candles must be green in order for me to get in. I have my shapes here that help you. And then you have your DMI, you have your DSS, and you have your volume indicator. So all of these must line up and for you to get in the trade. So if I wanted to get in this trade after I got these details, remember you can click on here and it'll show you. I have confirmation 1, I have a confirmation 2, I have a trend line confirming a buy trend. When I come down here, I have also a buy trend, right? So it's green. I would have got in the trade about right here after this last yellow candle, and this candle engulfed over this candle. I would have got in here for a buy into the support area. So these red and green boxes are support and resistance levels. So right now, overall, you can see that Euro Great Britain is in a sell trend, right? So when I'm coming into this area, these boxes are going to really help you identify what you want to do next. These are, remember, support and resistance area. So right now we're in a resistance area on the 4 hour with Euro Great Britain. All right. So we need to see how price is going to respect this area if we want to continue up in a buy or we want to wait for the price to come off of it. Okay. So a great time to have bought in this area is when you got a green box at the bottom. So let's say we had a green box here, and I'll go to a pair that actually has a green box. Everything lined up green. We have a green support area. That means price came down and we got a confirmation for a green trade, for a buy trade. Okay. For example, here's Chef JPY. We have a support area here. Now I'm looking for a buy off of this support area, okay? The support zone, right? So I want to make sure that when I go to my details that I have everything lined up. All my confirmations are lined up, right? My trend line is green. I have my trend line triangle here. I have this confirmation. I have this confirmation. I need my trend line to also be green. I need my candles to be green. I need this indicator, the DSS, to be green. And I need my DSS to be turning green as well. So I don't want to get in right here because my candles are not green. I want to be firm about getting in above this trend line and make sure it's green with a flat bottom candle for a buy. I also want my volume indicator to be over the dead zone. What do I mean about a dead zone? I have this white line here. This white line here is considered a dead zone. So when volume goes over, that means that there's a lot of volume in the market, and we would have had a great buy off of this trade, okay? Let's look for a sell. Looks like we got a lot of buys in the market. It's going up. All right, here's a silver trade on the 4-hour. We got all red arrows, right? All red arrows. Now, this was a perfect sell coming out of a resistance area. This would have been a more profitable trade for me to take in my preference because I'm coming out of a resistance area. I'm coming out of a ceiling, okay? I'm coming out of the ceiling, right? So I'm looking for those confirmation details, right? So I'm looking for confirmation 1, confirmation 2, levels, and the trend line. I'll go back and I have 3 confirmations. My trend line is now turning red. I got rejection coming out of this ceiling, rejecting off of the ceiling, turning red and coming down. I have a red here, I have red here, and I have red strong volume above the dead zone line is what I call it, the dead zone line, okay? Am I ready to get in this trade? Yes, let's go. So I'm in the last 4 hours, we got a great signal. Last 8 hours, these last 2 candles, a great sell signal. So this would have been a nice sell off that first candle. All right. So please understand that you do not want to get in a trade if you don't have all green. You do not want to get in a trade if you do not have all red. Okay. This is not a trade that I want to get in. Why? Because I have a yellow circle. The yellow circle says that there's not any volatility in the market for buyers or sellers, even though it's showing that it's a possible buy. I don't want to get in a trade because I don't have a clear confirmation based on right now. All right. So let's say you want to drop down to a smaller time frame. We got a signal on Chef JPY, right? And I want to stay on this pair. I don't want to look at any other pairs. It may not be on the other time frame. So what I'm going to do is I know that I'm looking for a 4-hour buy. I'm going to come to the left side. I'm going to click on the time here, and I'm going to go down to the 15-minute, right? Because I'm looking for the right time to get in a buy. Okay, so I'll come over here, get in and look for a retracement, look for a pullback, look for a downswing so I can get ready to get in on the next move. Now that's a little extra sauce for you guys. All right, so you can just click on, if you don't want to look at the 4-hour, you want to break it down, you want to go higher, you can look at any of that to see your overall view of this particular 4-hour setup. All right, that is pretty much all. It's very, very simple. It's not a hard trade at all. Look for your setup. Make sure that all of them are in alignment. That means that you're in a very good relationship. Everything's going well, and we want to get in a trade. We do not want to get in when there's confusion. Okay, keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple. It's not hard at all. Be in good relationships with good vibes. You want everything to line up in alignment. If you have any questions, please tune in to Colors on with Dr. Spiller. He will be going over how to take trades in different setups, what it's looking like. We should have a class every day with some educator that will help you and assist you in being successful with colors. I hope this training helps you. Have a great day.
Wow. That's one to rewatch, but that reminded me of looking at scanner source, looking at colors.
Interesting. It was interesting. Yeah, I drifted away a little bit. Somebody distracted me. But yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again, but it seems interesting. The lining up of the colors part, you know, all of that seems pretty much, and the shapes underneath the EMA seem pretty much straightforward. So what do you think of it, Tabby?
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, for anybody who doesn't even know what they're doing, you just simply have those 4 confirmations, green, 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 you know, and you've got your warning if it's yellow. It's in a bit of consolidation. Don't get in quite yet, you know, if you can't stomach it. And you just have to go with the confirmations. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. Green, 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 green. And I think she wrote it, you know, like Sean said, it reminded me a lot about the scanner source.
Similar indicators as well.
Very similar. Yeah, exactly.
But the volume, the trend indicator, very similar.
Yeah.
Luca is true.
Yeah. You know,
Julia's on. Let's hear from Julia, because Julia is very, very new. She hasn't really seen much in terms of Forex. Julia, what do you think from the naked eye, somebody that's brand new?
I like it. It looks quite simple if you like maybe watch the video another 2 times. I think it's something that you could catch on to quite easily to understand.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yeah, it looks. I like because the color thing, as she said, green is green and go, red is red, and then the yellow that tells you to wait and stuff like that. Yeah, I did quite find that interesting. Yeah.
Luca, Connect 4, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally ride the reggae wave as well, isn't it? Just wait for your colors.
Isn't it? Oh crap! Ride the reggae wave. Okay, it should have been called reggae wave, isn't it?
That's what I mean.
And it had the right colors as well. It just need a bit of black in it, and then it would be perfect. Yeah.
See, that was my eye anyway. It's basically like a traffic light system as well, isn't it?
Yes, Luca. That's exactly what it was like.
Yeah, that's the description I should have. Yeah, that's the sort of description I was trying to get at. Yeah, traffic light.
The reggae wave. Okay.
No, the traffic light, which is like straightforward. Red is red, green is green, and amber is wait. Yellow is wait. Yeah, so that's a very good description.
I think we got Luca as the Courage 500 Colors strategy trainer coming up. All right, nice one. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for that. Very interesting.
Is that on the HFX as well, or just on the other packages?
Well, it would be on the Forex, but checking your strategies, because it is new. I don't know if they would release it just to everyone for now. I'm not sure. So have a look in your IM center. Go to strategies. If it's there, then obviously yes. But if it's not, then just HFX, just Forex or Elite Pack.
Okay, cool. I'll have a look.
All right, guys. I think that is our time. hope everyone has enjoyed the session. As I said, very slightly different approach. So if anyone's got anything they would like to deliver or just share next week, feel free to let me know, and we can certainly arrange that. If not, I will have a little think about what I can share next week.
Thank you.
Sweet. Thanks, Sean.
All right.
Cheers,
Thank
guys.
you, guys. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
See yous.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you.
Sean.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good
Take
night.
care.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Where's the brandy and coke?
Malay wants to learn colours.
Where's it? Oh, is it? Oh, Malay. Okay. Get her on. Get her on. Put her on.
Yeah, well, you got this. You need to go to bed now. Though. It's not.
Yeah, not tonight. Not tonight, Malaya, honey. Tomorrow.
And yeah.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. See you guys.
Good
She